All right, man. So, TOAR, TOAR. Kind of walk me through that, what that means, and what inspired it.
So what it means, TOAR, it's teach, opportunity, attract, and repay.
Okay, one more time. Say that again.
It's teach, opportunity, attract, and repay.
Okay, one more time.
Teach, opportunity, attract, and repay.
Okay, walk me through that.
All right. So one of the things when I was coming up with TOAR is I wanted to find out what people's gifts are. And most people don't know what they're created to do. And so if you can pull out their gifts and you can start teaching them how to use it, now you have an opportunity for them to make better choices. So that's the T part, because you're teaching, and then now you have choices, which is opportunities. Once you find that out, you can see the abilities that they have inside that opportunity, and now you can attract what you want in life.
Okay.
And once you attract those things in life, now your obligation is to repay and make a better society. So that's the AR of TOAR. So
Gotcha.
TOAR, teach, opportunity, attract, and repay.
That's dope. That's dope. It's a very dope acronym. We live in the acronym era, so that's one of the most solid ones. So my next question would be, what are some common misconceptions of minority men in finances, and how do you plan to challenge that with this podcast?
So the biggest thing right now is our belief system, and I'm talking about minorities. We've been told the wrong information.
Okay.
Growing up, my parents were like, go to school, work hard, get your degree, and go out and, work a job 40 years. I mean, we've heard that all of our lives from actually not only hearing it, we watched it. And, my parents or my mom is in the stage now of getting close to retirement. And what are you going to do after retirement? Retirement doesn't set you up for life after work. I mean, you're now having to decrease your life because you're not making enough. You traded all your time for money, and the game was told differently to other classes. So, I've been blessed to be around other people and see how they make money. And I found out it's not making money the hard way by working, because you could do jobs now and work and try to do all this stuff, and it's not going to accumulate to the amount of money that you need to survive. Right. But you could do jobs that's going to make you money, or a task or things to make you money that doesn't require all that much work. You just got to know the game and the principles. So once I started involving myself around people who are doing those things and finding out that they have their time, which is the most important asset that you have, I stopped trading my time for dollars. I started figuring out how my time, if I'm going to use it, is going to make me the most amount of money. And as I started doing that, then now I noticed that things were starting to change. And so my thing is to make sure that I could communicate that and set a new message out there and help teach everybody, hey, what you're doing, that's wrong information because you weren't told that. I can show you something different, and the people who are around me can show you something different, because the thing that's so crazy is that we want to tell, we want to show, we want to share. And it's not anything that's a secret. It's just you got to do the work. Now, you can tell anybody to do it, but if they're not going to do it, that's on them. Like, you can take a horse, lead them to the trough, but you can't make them drink. Hopefully in life you got thirsty enough to now, hey, I want to drink. I'm tired of this. I'm starving. I need to get some. So here's the information that help you, get what you need, and that's what all this is about.
Right. One specific trend that I've been seeing a lot over the last 5-6 years or so is the credit repair. Right. Hit me up, credit repair. I can get this deleted off. And just in my experience alone, I'm a little timid about going into that whole credit space. Like, having good credit is cool, yeah, but like, what I've seen is a lot of people accumulate personal debt. So my question to you is, how do you separate personal debt from business debt, and which one is better? Right.
All right. So let me answer this in the best way I can in the shorter period of time that we have. I try to put everything in the business. I've just, over my experiences, when I had things personally that I owned, people come and take it. Okay. And I've just dealt with, lawsuits. I've done with court cases. I've done with stuff, have people just snatched it up. But if I put it in the right entity and have the right kind of entity structure, I'm running everything through the business, because there's LLCs, and they have protections. They have those classes that allow you not to be, penetrated. So once I started moving everything towards business, and I figured out that, hey, I can compartmentalize the things that matters, like my assets, in certain boxes and certain entities, and you can't go after that. Hey, everything was shifted to business. So building a business credit was more important to me than personal. But the catch is, to get that going and to start being trustworthy, you already have to have that fixed on your personal side. So it's a two-way thing. And this is the old proverb. This is the old thing that they teach in the scriptures and stuff like that. But if you're given little and you're a good steward with that, then you can be trusted with more. And so you got to learn how to fix internally your personal stuff, transition that over to business, grow that, and then start using and doing everything in the business. And then therefore they don't even touch your personal anymore.
Gotcha. What's the minimal credit score needed to buy a building? Like,
Depends on the building.
I just see we in this trend where it's like entrepreneurship versus 9 to 5, right? You coming from that 9 to 5 space, being in that corporate leadership space, now you're in the entrepreneurship space, right? Like, what would you say to balance that out? Because you got some people on the 9 to 5 saying, well, don't say that about me because I don't have the same capabilities, or I'm not afforded the same opportunities, or I just don't want to be the entrepreneur. So don't talk down on me because I work a 9 to 5. Then you got the entrepreneur side saying, well, 9 to 5 is dumb because you showing up and you building somebody else's dream where you could build your own, right? So where's the balance in that? I don't want to start a versus in here, right? But I do want to know your perspective on where you find that specific balance in that.
Well, I think it first starts with where you're trying to go. Like, if you want to be working a 9 to 5, and that's where your active income is coming, that's cool. Like, some people have professional degrees and they're making a lot in their active income, but they're tied to there and they don't have the time to do other stuff. Hey, if it's making it work for you, that's fine. You have entrepreneurs who say, hey, I'm willing to take the risk in order to accumulate this. I may not have the professional degrees and all this stuff, but I'm able to make or sometimes do better than the other people. Then I'm going to stick to entrepreneurs. So you got to first understand what lane you want to be in, and then understand what is your determination of success. Because some people with 9 to 5 may have success in just maintaining that, and they have the life, and everything's very much a structure for them. Entrepreneurs like, hey, I may have to do this, I may have to do that. I got to do, like, life can be hard and difficult, and there's a lot of risk involved. So, it really just depends on which direction you want to go. But first determine that, and then once you determine that, you'll know, hey, I can deal with the 9 to 5. And if I'm going to deal with the 9 to 5, then I'm just going to make sure that everything in that 9 to 5, I'm not going to talk down about the entrepreneur, but I can't get mad at my results. And then with the entrepreneur, hey, I know that there's going to be nights that I didn't make anything. I'm not bringing home the bacon. Like, things are getting cut off, but I know that I have something building and I want to build to that next step. So I got to keep going forward. And I've been on both paths. And I know for me, the best thing that is, I can't work for somebody else, because being in a 9 to 5 means I will be working for somebody else. I'm not built that way. And since I'm not built that way, I won't. And I have to lead my own path, because the only person at the end of the day when it comes to that matters is me.
Right.
And I know how much I'm worth. I know what I invest in, and I know that I'll always bet on me compared to betting on another company that doesn't have the same values that I have. So I've had to go down that path, but I can only speak on my experience.
Got you. Yeah, for sure, man. I definitely understand. So, last question, before we get out of here, what can people expect in the future from this podcast?
Growth. That's the easiest thing I can say. Growth from mindset, growth from action taking, growth from some relationships you need to prepare, growth from, being from this step to this step, growth on the things that you want to build as far as your people, your network, your information, your intake, your knowledge. So growth is the thing I can tell you that you're going to get out of here.
Yeah. So you said something before we get out of here. You said something. You said taking action. A lot of people hear that and they check out because they don't understand that you have to take consistent action.
Man.
Because if I take one action and that action doesn't work, I can't get disgruntled and I can't get unmotivated. I'm like, I took the action, but it didn't work out. Consistent action, meaning consistent failure until you have a successful action.
Yeah. So
I know a little something now. Now, watch out now, Scott. You ain't the only brain in here now.
So look at it like this. Like, to get into my office right now, you got to walk up 2 sets of stairs, right? All right. Well, as you walk up the 2 flights of stairs, there's a step each time. But if you stop right there, are you going to get to my office? Are you going to get to the goal? It's going to be failure. You stopped and there's failure. But if I know if I keep on taking the action to get to where I want to be at, despite how long the staircase is, hey, I'm going to keep going. That's the consistency that you have to put in when you want to be successful. If you want to get to the top, know that each thing that you go through is an experience, it's a learning lesson to get to the next stage. You're going to fail. There's that little slide in the step. Elevate, slide until now you're actually where you want to be. And you have to do that until you determine, hey, I won't fail. I'm not going to regress. I'm not going to be stuck. I'm going to keep going up. And once you know what your level of success is, that's where, you put the blinders on and go. Like, you got to take that action.
Shoot, you got it. Hey, it take money to make money. I paid 4 toll tags before I got here. So before I even got to the door. So you talking about stairs, you got to get to the parking spot first. I done spent $6 to get here messing with Scott Jackson. So yeah, we were live here with Scott Jackson once again on the TOAR podcast, man. So amazing things to come. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the growth, the advice that you possess and your experiences, and ready to talk through them. So again, thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll see y'all next time.
All right, y'all. Take care.